Is it on? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome here in the sanctuary and online. I'm Holly Leo, and I'm a member of our board. Look at how beautiful it is today. We're so excited to be here on the first day of Advent. Reverend Shara is with us today, speaking on the mystery of hope and faith. We're so excited. I forgot to mention, now's the time to turn off your cell phones if you haven't done that already. And Lisa Knowles is our musical guest. Thank you. Lisa's back with us, and we're so happy to have her. The annual toy drive has begun, where we partner with a local Tustin Boys and Girls Club to give new unwrapped toys for kids from preschool to high school in our local area. You can bring the toys on Sunday or during the week to the administration office. This Thursday, December 4th, is Blue Christmas. It's our service that recognizes that the holidays can sometimes be challenging for those experiencing loss. Loss of a loved one, of a pet, of a job, or moving, or any experience of loss. It's this Thursday at 7 p.m. with our prayer chaplains. And now we're going to have a message from Arlene Paget about the shower ministry. Come on up.
Good morning, Unity. Oh my gosh, you are so gorgeous. The first thing I have to say is thank you, Marco and Andrea Nishihara, for this magnificent Christmas display. Oh my goodness. I gotta tell you, this is just my favorite place to be on Sunday morning. However, one Sunday a month, I'm not here. I'm over at St. Paul's Episcopal Church working on the shower ministry. Now, there are many wonderful churches in Orange County that you could be attending this morning, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, the top of my head, my gut chakra, all of it. Thank you for being here, because you are so magnificent. And we all love you. I've heard churches described as the house of God. For me, my house of God is my home. My home. And why? Because I'm a child of God, and thank you, Unity, I know I carry God with me everywhere. Now, what if your house of God was your automobile, your car? What if you were among the unhoused? Not an easy thing. While cars are magnificent, and personally, I love cars. There are no ugly cars, there are no ugly trucks. If I can turn on the ignition and go, I'm there. All right. But a car typically is not equipped to live in day to day. And so for this reason, St. Paul's Episcopal Church over in Tustin created a shower ministry. That shower ministry is consisting of a trailer with 2 showers, hot water, heated by propane tanks, on campus all the time, open and available only on Sunday, and it's supported by donation. Now, I want to describe what St. Paul's is offering. 15-minute showers, sundries for our guests that they can pick up and take with them. Q-tips, nail files, razors, shaving cream, all those kinds of essentials. Before they enter the shower, they are provided with brand new underwear, socks, t-shirts, shorts, briefs, bras, panties, whatever is appropriate. And they have the luxury of, before they enter the shower, of being handed snowy, white, bright, clean towels. Now, I'm telling you, that is a big thing if you're living in your car. Now, while they are waiting for their shower, the volunteers provide hot coffee, cold water, protein bars, cookies, fresh fruit, on and on and on, to make people as comfortable as possible. On December 14th, that's 2 Sundays from now, Marion Snowden and I, now you all know Marion, she was in Voices of Unity, she sang alto. She's a hoot. And we are collecting blankets. And blankets are so important, and we're looking for new blankets, throws, anything up to double bed size, something that can fit into an automobile. All right. Now, we're also collecting money, and I hate to ask for money, but I'm going to ask you. On December 14th, if you are moved for this kind of a gift, I hope you will bring a blank check. Do not fill out pay to the order of. Marion and I will help you spell Episcopal. And regrettably, Unity has no pass-through account. If you make the check out to Unity, we cannot use it. So, in the spirit of we space, thank you, Shara, and all being one family, would you consider donating to a family member that you have not yet met? Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Arlene. All right, now let's stand for the congregational song led by Lisa Knowles.
Good morning. My name is Jim Perry. I'm one of your prayer chaplains, and I'm honored to open the service by lighting the Christ Consciousness candle and by reading the daily word with you. As I light the Christ Consciousness candle, I like to remember that the consciousness of Christ, the spirit of the mystic, is a gift given to all of us. It's inside of it, it dwells in our hearts, and we can access it, just like lighting a candle. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a few clicks, but you can do it. And from the daily word, the affirmative words today are hope and faith. And our affirmative statement is, I walk by faith and live each day with hope in my heart. Our biblical reference is Psalm 62:5. For God alone my soul waits in silence, for my hope is from him. And from the reading, as Advent begins, I center myself in hope and feel my faith grow strong. I marvel at Mary's faith as I think about the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual aspects of her journey to Bethlehem to have her child. She must have felt frightened to hear what the angel had told her, but faith allowed her to take each step with peace. Like Mary, I may wonder why I am facing certain events. And like Mary, I live in faith. When I have doubt or uncertainty, no matter what is going on in my life, my faith in the power of spiritual living gives me renewed hope that God is with me. I am reassured that along every journey, no matter how long, the highest good is unfolding. And once again, our affirmative statement today, I walk by faith and live each day with hope in my heart. Together, I walk by faith and live each day with hope in my heart.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, I'll take that lighter, for lighting the Christ candle. And it's my privilege to invite up Ava and Olivia, will be formal today, to light our Advent calendar for our first Sunday of Advent.
This is the candle that represents hope and faith. We light this candle
of promise
of spirit gifts to us. The Christ light.
Thank you. Thank you. Your mama wants a photo. And there we have it, our first Sunday of Advent. So let's take a deep breath and just breathe in all of this abundance. 3 days ago, we celebrated Thanksgiving dinner here. And for those of you who were there, or those of you who were supported in spirit, it was so wonderful to be in community. The weather was perfect. I heard it was a little hot for the turkeys. But for the rest of us, we were able to sit outside, commune. Sue, Joy, AJ, Marco did all this work to prepare the outdoor space. Amanda made 2 turkeys beautifully. And, we had this togetherness. And I did a little research as we kind of moved from Thanksgiving to Advent. I did some research on Thanksgiving that I found out, really new things. It's not a holiday that started with the Pilgrim story. That actually only came online in the late 1800s as a way to almost sanitize our origins as a nation in a time of great immigration. Thanksgiving was vaguely practiced in the puritanical Northeast by the Puritans, and it was not surprisingly a solemn holiday marked by fasting. And then there is a woman named Sarah Hale who wrote Mary Had a Little Lamb, of Mary Had a Little Lamb fame. And she, for 2 decades, had this hope that there could be a holiday based in gratitude that brought the nation together. And she petitioned and she petitioned, and to no avail, until she got the ear of President Lincoln during the Civil War. And he very much wanted to unify a factioned nation. So in 1863, he established the last Thursday in November as a permanent observance, calling all Americans to a shared purpose in the midst of a devastating civil war. He wrote, "I do therefore invite and urge the people to set apart and observe the last Thursday of November as a day of thanksgiving and praise." And what he included in this was an opportunity for our nation to heal our wounds, asking us to, by remembering and being grateful, calling for unity and the restoration of peace, harmony, tranquility, and union. So it really serves this purpose, doesn't it? You know, that's the holiday that brings us all together, that helps us remember why we're more alike than different, when we can come together based upon what matters most. And that is particularly heartening for me because just a few weeks ago, three weeks ago, our unity movement had a faction. And we had a faction of our unity movement that has all of our brick and mortar churches throughout the country. And we had a faction that takes care and stewards unity villages and all of our publications. And we have not been unified for 60 years. And with a lot of work from both boards, just a few weeks ago, we passed with the field vote of 91% affirmative to become a unified unity. Yeah. And it's exciting. It's an exciting time because you can see if you have a very well-developed educational branch of our movement and you have a well-developed feet on the ground arm of our movement and they're not connected, how much energy leak, how many missed opportunities. And now that we're together, how much energy synergy and how many possibilities are now right online. And it is happening. You know, the new body is having a 4-person executive team designed to really see what do we need as a movement that can be done nationally. So we are arriving. I think we feel it at Unity of Tustin, this beautiful dynamism, and this is being mirrored in our macrocosm and maybe even in the larger collective. So, you know, that's where we move into Advent. That's when we move from this place of togetherness into the darkness, into the quiet, into the womb, which is into the rebirth of Christ in evolution. All systems, whether it's you, me, the world, our planet, we all have a life cycle. And that life cycle generally goes into decline unless it's imbued with new energy, new thought, new vision. If it does, then it can revitalize. So when we go into the darkness and get reborn, we can be a revitalizing, open spiral, always moving forward, always open at the top. And that's what we're doing. And of course, we do it so much better together. So I'd like us to harness that feeling of togetherness and thankfulness and infuse it into this first candle of Advent, which is the candle of hope. And let's bring them together in our opening prayer. So I invite you all to take a deep breath and release. And I just went to quite the workshop a week ago. And we made lots of noise. Lots, you can probably hear it in my voice. I learned the healing power of the hand scream. And it's about releasing so our nervous system can be released, so we can let these qualities flow through us, like hope, like love, like gratitude, joy, peace, love. So let's be a little more vocal with our exhale, shall we? Let's breathe in and and shake, 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 shake. Let your body be that life cycle, open for the new birth, open for the new information. And feel into your heart and allow it to open wide. And Mother, Father, God, divine living love, divine mind, the great mystery, the spirit, our ancestors, ones that are coming after us, bring it all together now and let's feel our aliveness. Our aliveness to bring forward the best to come, the hope, the knowing, the faith of all things already realized in God and love. And as we go into this time of the darkness, as we go into the shortest days and the longest nights, when we go into the mystery and the unknown, we affirm that we will be receiving new gold, new whispers, new emanations of our own life force, showing us how to continue to create with spirit something from nothing. And may we continue to do that in our own lives, in our own families, on this beautiful campus, in our beloved community, and in our greater world. And with great gratitude and immense unbridled, generous, and preposterous hope, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen. Yay. So we've been in a season of gratitude. We're moving into the season of hope and faith. So just to kind of shake up that dynamism a little bit, I want you to think of something you're hopeful for. What are you hopeful for? What do you hope? What do you hope? And then I'd like everyone to stand. Maybe we do a little music. And let's take a minute or two and go to your neighbor you know, neighbor you don't know, and share. What's something you are hopeful for? What's something you hope? And let's share it with each other. Thank you, Carol. What's something you're hopeful for? Thank you, everyone. And now I invite up our very own Mary Jean Hawes for a special opportunity of hope.
Good morning, everyone. Not this past week, but the week before, if you've made any donation to Unity of Tustin, you should have received an email with your year-to-date statement attached to it. We do this every year around this time. It also was with a letter from Reverend Shara and Blair and Craig about demonstrating divinity, which was our inspiration for this year. We're getting ready to have another one here pretty soon, so we'll see what that one is. But we do this for a couple reasons. One is, sometimes this becomes on automatic pilot where we just sort of give the same amount and just figure it's all taken care of. But you looking at your statement can sometimes say, gee, this is where I am in the year. Now, if you haven't received one, please come and see me or Amanda and we can print one out for you. But part of the reason we do that is because, and this is just part of church life, December is always the most profitable, if you want to look at it that way. We're a nonprofit, so we don't look at profit. But December is our most significant giving month. I noticed that nonprofits are participating on Tuesday with Giving Day. We had Black Friday, and then Monday is Cyber Monday, and then Tuesday is Giving Day. So, a couple weeks ago, I talked about this commitment to spiritual practice. And it's just a question of making what can become unconscious conscious. What are my conscious spiritual practices? It's not just financial giving. It's prayer and meditation, it's study, it's selfless service. There's a lot to it. We used to include things like shadow work. I'm feeling like this next year is going to be body work. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But I'm just encouraging you, as Shara sort of mentioned, we're kind of back to the serious time before the birth in the manger. Thanksgiving is past, and this is now Advent, where there's a little bit of waiting, that anticipation going on. So if you haven't done so, think about taking one of these. It's not a report card. We're not going to check you. And thank you to those of you who have turned in your financial commitment card, because it does help us in our budgeting process. So thank you very much, and I will turn it over to Lisa.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Oh, Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? And the child that you are holding is the great Mary, did you know?
Let's all drink that in. Thank you, Lisa and Carol. And we're moving into a different time of year, right? Like we can feel it. We can feel it on the altar. We can feel it in the music. We can feel it in the seasons. We can feel it in the night. Just allow that to marinate for a moment. This is the mystery and the unknowing that's part of the darkness. Do I hear a what's that? Oh, okay. No worries. Keep on going. The known disturbance is far easier to handle than the unknown. But that's it. This is the season of the unknown, and these qualities of Advent. We're talking about hope and faith and peace and love and joy. They are open questions. They don't have an answer. They have no object. They're not like your swingline stapler, where it's kind of problem solved. It's been mastered. It's done. Not too much more innovation. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, but it has a function. These are mysteries. They're forever unanswerable. They're forever objectless. We will never understand hope, faith, love, peace, joy. We can, however, and we must participate in them. They are embodied. They are embodied qualities where do we end? Where do they begin? Where is the love of creation that undergirds all that is, that we emerge from, but through our emerging from it, we are in relationship to it. It's this dance that the Advent season is about. And we start with hope. And we start with hope. It's very personal hope. It's what do you hope for? Person I talk to hopes that there will never be a World War III. Yeah, like what a beautiful prayer. What a beautiful prayer. What are some other hopes you have? Anyone call it out? Use a big voice.
40 blankets.
Thank you, Arlene. Yes. That's right. That's right. I mean, you have to be an advocate for hope. Just like Sarah Hale was an advocate to have this Thanksgiving be part of our culture. She had to work at it for 20 years. There's an activity. What other hopes do we have?
Sovereignty of our bodies.
What's that? Sovereignty of our bodies. Beautiful. What else did? Cure for cancer. Yeah. Healed relationships. Getting remarried. Whoa! To the right and perfect partner. Oh, I can vouch for that. Yeah, and you know, our hopes, sometimes they work out, right? And that gives us a baseline to keep hoping. And sometimes they don't work out. Sometimes we have the failed marriage or the health crisis that doesn't resolve or the deepest loss that we knew possible. And yet here we are, right? So there's this unforeseeability of life that we need to navigate while taking a stand for hope and praying for what we want to see made manifest. And there's this dance. And some of us use defenses, like we become optimistic or pessimistic. We might become pessimistic. Don't hope, then you won't be disappointed. Right? Or there's a bit of a bypass of optimism. Hope, and if it doesn't work out, all will be well. Right? Not quite integrating the wisdom of the darkness, the wisdom of the loss. And Jesus says we have to be as sly as a serpent and as simple as the dove. And it's both and. We need to know that sometimes life is unfair. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes we suffer. But we can't only be the serpent, because then we will see life as cynical and dangerous. And we have to be simple as the dove and know that there is divine order and that goodness prevails. But we can't only be the dove, because then we become naive and we're not able to manage the inevitable disappointments when they happen. So we have to do both. We have to work this navigation, and they inform each other. I lost my mom to cancer when I was 33. She was only 59. And she died 3 months after diagnosis. It was so fast. And I hoped and I prayed. I hoped and prayed for a cure. She was getting treated at MD Anderson. So I thought, maybe she'll get a clinical trial. Maybe there'll be a full resolution. Maybe she'll see my kids. I didn't have children. And then when the prognosis was getting bleaker and bleaker, it was, maybe she'll have another year or two. Maybe a treatment will work. No one knew, even her doctor said, this isn't a forest fire. We thought we had time. And then when it was really clear that she only had days, I would hope that she'd eat my piece of watermelon. And I would hope she'd get up and take a walk around the nurse's station. And when she did, I followed her like she was Jesus, just amazed that she was up walking. Why? And of course, she passed quicker than I ever hoped. And here I still am as minister. So what sustains us when it doesn't turn out? We've all had something that hasn't turned out. What sustains you? And I remember grieving my mom, and I remember being on my living room floor all alone, sobbing, wailing. And I had a glimpse of being grateful that I loved her so much that I was sobbing on my living room floor, wailing. So that there's a way we are held in the love that we lost in time that sustains us beyond time. and we carry within us that which we loved and lost as part of our eternal self. So hope is in time, but it's the meeting and the losing of hope that gives us the glimpse of the timelessness that sustains all of this within time. And this is the dance we do. And it's also the blessings. Think of one of your most joyous moments. Think of one of those things that made you feel so grateful to be human and alive. That has also passed. But yet, the eternality of the goodness and the joy that is always already present exists in you, even though that goodness has passed. And this is the mystery. Hope is our individual yearning for the highest and best. And the faith is knowing that it is being realized whether it looks the way we want it to or not. Because we know. We've had experiences where that luminosity of spirit, where that grace shines through. And our spiritual practice is to stabilize in that, to habituate our beingness in the eternal while being in the here and now, so that when things don't turn out, we are stabilized in something that keeps us from despair, or that holds us in the despair we experience. Yeah, can we all feel into this? Yeah. This is the season of hope. And yet we have to keep hoping. We have to keep hoping. So I've been reflecting on varieties of hope. And the other thing about hope is that it's so much better when we do it together. You know, when we know that there are other people who have lost and loved again. When we know there are other people who have lived out loud and continue to bring it. When we know there's other people that want justice and fairness and beauty and an elemental kindness for all. A ground of being where we are kind and caring for each other, as Arlene demonstrated with the impeccability that Arlene quintessentially knows how to bring. With that dignity, the dignity of let's be kind, unity of Tustin. Let us do it because that's what's being called in the moment. So this collectiveness also can give us hope. And one of the things that happens in a system is when we have a problem with something, when we're complaining about something. Anyone complaining about things going on in the world these days? Well, here's the good news. I'm going to give you some hope. If you are complaining about something, the reason you can complain about it is because you're there. You're seeing what's happening that you're complaining about. That means you are part of what you are complaining about. Because if you weren't part of it, you wouldn't be there to see it, to complain about in the first place. So why is this hopeful? Well, if you're part of what you're complaining about, you can also be part of changing it. So there's a lot of hope. Pay attention to your complaints. They are useful. They are telling you where your soul might be calling you to be of service, to be an antidote. And it could be a very direct action, or it could be an indirect action. You could perhaps take action to change the system you're complaining about by being more of an activist, or you could do it by intending an emanation from your life force to be the antithesis of what you're seeing. Or you could do both. And Jesus talks and demonstrates this. Sometimes Jesus talks about the kingdom of God as something we have to bring forward by being Christ-like, by being loving, by being vulnerable, by calling out the hypocrite. Jesus does that. And sometimes Jesus says the kingdom of God is at hand, that it's already always present. So it's the both and, it's the serpent and the dove, that we get to bring about the realities that are always already present. You can almost feel the amorphousness of this dance. And this is where we even have the hope of grace. So if you miss the boat, if you miss the inner cue, if you miss the still small voice, if you miss life as it arises from the horizon telling you, act here, this is your chance to participate in divine order, the hope of grace is that there is always another chance. The hope of grace is Jesus saying, repent, which we've talked about in the Greek is metanoia, which really means turn your consciousness, change your mind, reconnect to God. That hope of grace is wherever you are, that reconnection point is always already present. There's a Rumi poem that I thought of that makes me think of this. Let me find it real quick. Come, come, whoever you are. Have you heard this poem by Rumi? Come, come, whoever you are. That even means you. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. It doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come yet again, come. Come. So that's the hope of grace. However we are insufficient, we always have the capacity to change our mind. And that's one of Paul's teachings. Do not seek to conform to this world, but always be renewed by the renewing of your mind. That's our hope of grace. In Unity teachings, Eric Butterworth has a lot of metaphors, and one of them is the light switch. The electrical current is always running, but sometimes we turn off the light switch. We turn off our connection to source. And at any moment, we can turn it back on and be connected and be that living emanation of love. So we have this very personal hope which can hurt us personally. That's where the work of psychotherapy comes in. After my mom's passing and there was all these losses that happened at the same time, I did need support. I needed acupuncture. My body needed support. I felt all these neurological symptoms coming. We can be impacted by this, and we need each other, and we need those resources. And we can move through those stages of grief. We can move from the bargaining into the despair. And when we continue, we move then into the acceptance and transformation. the ability to accept life on life's terms, the ability to accept the tyranny of death without being tyrannized by it. So this is that personal hope. Then we have the collective hope, the institutional hope, the systemic hope, that we are part of the systems we create. This is very new for human consciousness. For millennia, it never occurred to us that we were part of the systems that we created. We just lived in the same village year after year. Power was ordained by God to a king and a priest. So the best we could do as spiritual people is change our relationship to life as it is. Now that's still true. We transcend and include. But now we're also saying we can also impact the conditions which shape us and shape our ability to manifest our Christ selves, our Christ light, our Christ light. So this is newer. So a lot of our spiritual practices have to catch up. They have to catch up that we are a bit more powerful than we might have thought. And wherever we are, we have the hope of grace, that we get to renew our minds again and again and again. And it's part of the life cycle. We're going to be lost, we're going to fall away, and can we listen? Can we be prayed up enough? Can we be in community enough that we will catch the glimpses of where spirit can reinfuse and bring us up to a higher level, and bring us up to a new octave, a new way of being, an evolutionary way of seeing? And then that brings us to what I'm calling the alchemy of hope, or the mysticism of hope. Let me talk a little bit about that. So in alchemical hope, there's a relationship, and we know this from our unity teachings. There's a relationship between the consciousness we hold and the life we're living, right? If we're only looking at the world through the eyes of the serpent, we're going to see a lot of cynicism and mistrust. If we only look through the eye of the dove, we're going to see we're going to be very naive and maybe be taken advantage of. If we look through the lens of both, we might have some discernment. And now the world is going to come up a little bit more complex. If we look at the world through the eye of the law, where we're in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. We've got to get even, and there's got to be this justice, and we have to pay when we fall off course. We can make progress as well, but that's kind of what Jesus came to break apart, because it takes a very long time to metabolize density into love in an eye-to-an-eye consciousness. But now when we come and we see through the eyes of grace, now there's beauty and possibility, and the possibility of redemption at every moment, regardless of what is happening. Now we get to the reality where our I am is not determined by what we've experienced and what the outcomes are, but by a reality much greater than the outcomes. Right? Can you feel into that? I mean, this is what Jesus represented. He was executed. It was not a good outcome. And yet, he is the Prince of Hope, the Prince of Peace. What came forward is the eternal goodness, despite the outcome most undesired. And this is the alchemy. How can we live from and commune with that mystery below and beyond all outer circumstances? And be supported by it, be fed by it, and nourished by it. And here, I was thinking about Arlene's work where she says, no expectations, just abundant expectancy. Right? We get to the point where we kind of grok, we kind of catch on that what we hope for is so much smaller than spirit. So then it's like, maybe have loving compassion for the part of us that's still hoping, but realize that the true gifts are just going to drop from the sky. Be surprised by life. Wonder what's going to happen. Because the wonderment will let you be available to something greater than you can even hope for. And that's what we're catching on. That's the message. That's kind of the gold. How in a sense that is the alchemist, turning lead into gold, turning whatever is into the light that is greater than it, so that we can be in relationship to life, infusing it with light regardless of how it shows up. This is kind of what I'm trying to point to the moon. Can you feel into that a little bit? Yeah. And I think Arlene too, she talks about moving from fear to awe. Remember we talked about that? Like even the expression. Like just do the gesture of awe right now. Just awe. Ah. You know, it's that open song. It's that lifted gaze. When we let go of attachment to outcome, it's what? Bring it, life. You know, bring it. Like what is there? What is there now and what is there in the afterlife? I mean, I visited Kirk a couple of times. As many of you know, he's in hospice. What a consciousness. If you want some medicine of a consciousness of someone steeped in our teachings that have allowed him to be that way, where it's like, Creator, what do you have for me? He emanates it. Doesn't mean the other levels aren't there, but he's an example of the luminosity shining through the moment with abundant expectancy. Abundant expectancy.
He's 91, right?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah, clear-eyed and beautiful in consciousness. Such a gift. So alchemical faith anchors hope in the present, so we can live as if the outcome is already present. And that's simply the foundation of unity prayer. You know, this is hopefully what we've been doing and practicing. Practicing, the outcome doesn't matter. I have access to the consciousness of the outcome, whether it happens or not, and God damn it, I'm going to live from that. And maybe you do need a little chutzpah, you know, or you do need a little bit of that rebel to really bring it forward, because it's courageous. It's heart-based living. There's actually a passage from the book The Alchemist, which I love, which speaks to this. And it says, "My heart is afraid that it will suffer," the boy told the alchemist one night as they looked up at the moonless sky. Just imagine. "My heart is afraid it might suffer." And the wise sang back, "Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. And that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams." Yeah. So, you know, to transcend suffering, there's this quality of giving up expectation. So you cannot be disappointed. Now, will you be disappointed? I don't know how to completely transcend the human. But we can habituate in the transcendent, so it is our primary reference point, even when we are disappointed and grieving in the losses that are inevitable and in the joys that are inevitable. That we can be resilient pillars in this world of unforeseeability. That to me is a lovely prayer. I hope that I can be a pillar of resilience in the world of unforeseeability. So think about that for yourself. Like, what is that for you? I think that's the inquiry to kind of marinate on this last week. What is that for you? And it's like the fish who says, Mom, can I have a drink of water? And she says, well, you're swimming in it. And we are swimming in hope. We are swimming in faith. We are swimming in God. We are swimming in spirit. We are swimming in love. And how does each of us bring forward a conscious cup of that into our awareness? God is really our atmosphere. And how do we participate and engage in that atmosphere? And it might be without words, might be beyond words, might be more of a felt sense, a knowing. It might be the motivation that brings us back to meditation, or in nature, or spending quality attuned time with a grandchild, or singing our favorite song, or calling our BFF just because. Where are the reference points in your life where this mystical bridge between the day-to-day and the eternal connect? And when you have that moment, fan that flame. Let it become as strong and resplendent as possible. Because those are the hopeful experiences that sustain us in all things. Yeah. I don't know really how it connects. I was just thinking your song, like, Mary, did you know? Did you know? Like, could we know? And we know and we don't know at the same time. And that's the fragile, precious beauty. We know and we don't know. And here comes the babe. It's Lisa. Thank you for bringing in the child. Yes, you heard the calling. We need this beautiful energy, of the children. See, their bridge is still very open between that personal and that eternal. And it's the why behind spiritual community and practice. So we can root it and be it and celebrate it. Okay. So let's take that into the meditation song, and then I'll invite you into a meditation that hopefully gives you the felt experience of the joining of those worlds of personal hope and eternal hope.
Children sleeping, snow is softly falling. find it all again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you believe. Trains move quickly to their journey's end. Destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea. Trusting starlight to get where they need to be. When it seems that we have lost our way, we find ourselves again on Christmas Day. Believe what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside. Believe when your dreams will fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. If you just believe. Just believe. Ooh, believe.
And if your eyes aren't already closed, I invite you to close them now. And as you do, drop in, dropping your head into your heart. Dropping deep into the dark. Feeling the solace that's in what you don't even know. And in that knowing that you are held regardless. Allow yourself to settle into this moment, letting go of distractions and opening your heart to the presence of hope. And I invite you now to bring into your heart, into your presence, the idea, the frequency of hope. Not as a fleeting wish for a specific outcome, but as a deep, invincible trust in the infinite presence of God the Good. Hope is not about clinging to what we desire or fearing what we might lose. It's the quiet assurance that even in the midst of uncertainty, loss, or despair, there is a deeper reality that holds us. Divine mind, the trust that nothing is missing, that the infinite generosity of spirit is already fully given to us. Imagine hope as a gentle light within you, illuminating this truth that you are held, that you emerge from something greater than yourself. This light doesn't deny pain or challenges, but shines through them, reminding you that even in the darkest moments, there's a presence that cannot be lost. Feel into that presence that has you. That presence that is carrying you. That is the ground of love that is you. Even when you've lost conscious connection of it yourself. Now picture yourself playing peekaboo. Playing peekaboo and seeing the face of eternal love smiling at you with delight every time you uncover your eyes. Feel the joy and trust in that moment. The certainty that divine love is there, watching, loving, and waiting for you. See yourself being seen and delighted in. This is the essence of hope. Knowing you are seen, known, and loved by the infinite, omnipresent mystery every time you uncover your eyes. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are part of something vast, eternal, beautiful, and unchanging. Repeat these words silently to yourself. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. And let these words guide you into a deeper sense of trust and surrender. Feel the presence of the Christed light being born within you, around you, and beyond you. A presence that is endlessly generous in the silence. And as we end this meditation, take a moment to offer gratitude for the gift of hope, for the light that shines in the midst of darkness, and for that presence that holds you in every moment. And as we offer this gift of hope, we also offer it to all of those here on our prayer list in Unity of Tustin and all of those in our minds and hearts. And may we go through this next week being and shining the light that shines through everything, always, and be the hope and the faith that we know is always already present. I'll invite you all to come back to this now moment. You may want to shake your body a little bit, kind of reorient yourself, look around, just notice how beautiful your neighbor are, so that when Jim comes up and welcomes all of our new visitors, you are able to welcome them yourself. Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you so much, Shara. I do appreciate this aura of hope that you've instilled through our meditation and reminding us of the ability to walk as though the dream has already happened. And it's so joyous. Thank you, thank you. And another joy is my honor to welcome our new guests, both in person and our friends online. Here at Unity of Tustin, we believe in one God, one heart, many paths, and it is our mission to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in our world. We are a fully inclusive community of all walks of life, and we'd like you to know that whatever your background, wherever you are on your spiritual path, we are so grateful that you are here to continue your journey with us. Our ushers are coming forward now with flowers and welcome cards for those who are here for their first or second time. If you're comfortable, please raise your hand so that we can recognize you and present you with these gifts. Anyone? Oh, here's the young. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. We're grateful. And for our friends online, please drop us an email. Let us know. We'd love to add you to our weekly e-blast and let you know about all the things that are happening here on our campus. We invite everyone to join us after the service for food and fellowship around the hospitality table. And also make sure to stop by our open door welcome center and book center, our shop and reading room. As always, we do have our Reiki practitioners wearing the green ribbons. I have mine on today. How about that? And prayer chaplains are also there with the white ribbons. We'll be at the entrance to the meditation gardens, and we do love to pray with you and offer the Reiki support. In addition, there are prayer request forms in the seat backs in front of you. They're also at the table of the gardens entrance where you may leave your request in the prayer box. They will be lovingly held in prayer by our silent prayer ministry team. And note, if you would like guidance about using our labyrinth as a spiritual tool, please see a facilitator from the Labyrinth Ministry. You can find them. They're wearing bright blue ribbons, and they're near the entrance to the labyrinth. There's always so much happening here on our campus of consciousness. Please make sure to check your email each Friday for our weekly e-newsletter and visit the welcome table for information about the many upcoming classes, events, and opportunities to serve as part of our beloved Unity of Tustin community. Now's the time for our love offering as we share our financial gifts in support of this beautiful ministry. The various electronic ways to give are here on the screen. They're also listed on the card in the seat backs in front of you. We do also pass the offering bags to receive in-person donations. And in whatever form you choose to give, we do invite you to briefly hold your hand over the offering bag as it comes by and connect with that moment, that spirit of giving, that spirit of abundance. We're grateful for your faith and your generosity. And now Reverend Shara will share an offering message.
Yes, well, this is easy. I hope that Unity of Tustin is a thriving, world-nourishing spiritual community 10, 20, 30 years from now. And it requires all of us. It requires all of us. So I really encourage everyone to prayerfully consider your giving and your giving consciousness. Fill out one of these commitment cards. I'm filling one of these out. Our board is filling one of these out. They've committed to fill out a commitment card. And we are in this together to support the health and vitality of this community, so our teachings and medicine can be and gardens can be a gift for our greater community for decades to come. So with that, let us affirm our love offering blessing together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive in peace, love, and joy. And let's experience another blessing from Lisa and Carol.
Hang on the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and so we trim the tree. How much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town. They do. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Shake a hand now. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa Knowles, everyone. Her beautiful voice. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. And, of course, the beautiful accompaniment by Carol. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here today and for our friends online. We're really grateful. As we close, please stand and affirm the prayer for protection together. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And go forth and live that hope and live that dream. It is happening right now.